wondering if his brain was hijacked. Or is he celebrating a birthday and it's a way to teach people, because there are people who are very black and white in their minds. He needs to go to jail. And I totally get it, because when you're a victim, it's like, get rid of whoever did this thing to me needs to go. You know, I totally get that. Because there's a bunch of people here who live high on the hog, and they played all kinds of psychological games. And it's in the realm of, there's no way to prove this in your standard court of law. Like, and also, if you're basically a certain type of person, you don't want to have to go through that rigmarole, right? And it's a very yucky system, but everyone is hurt in the long run. I figure I earned a bunch of like eternal good karma and so many good points from, say, God, that I'm good forever. I can say whatever the hell I want. Girlfriend, you are good. I can't believe how bad these people were, what they did, because there's no way to clearly define everything. There's too, you were jumped and overwhelmed by armies of people who were unleashed in Philadelphia specifically. There might have been a major unleashing. In a way, you could say it was manufactured, but I'm not in the know. It would be like, we need all these people to show us what they can do, and they can do things invisibly. So, not just on the street. There's people playing on the street, and people learn to create skits and stuff. It's hard to, and there's Bridgegate, that's orchestrated. Remember Bridgegate? Watergate, you know, but Bridgegate, New Jersey, that was orchestrated. In a way, it's orchestrated harassment, because all the people who technically were delayed and stuck on a bridge trying to get home, which is scary. Nobody loves driving over bridges, you know. So that's a perfect example. But the birthday gift maybe to Michael Keaton, if he's more liberal, would be for the awareness to be out there that people's brains are hijacked, especially a 14-year-old. Okay? So who's at fault? Then they want to go to the parent. Well, I'm sorry, if these people were flagged, why wasn't it prevented? Why wasn't their education put in place? Why didn't people come around to sort of, you know, communities do things like they bring people around to sort of, maybe we'll get this person over here instead of, let's see if we can have someone come in and be an influence in the other direction. And that's enough for people to sort of go think another way or what have you. Unless somebody wanted a show in Georgia, I want to know who the politicians are immediately. I want to know who's up for top cop. I want to know who's, okay? So these people can control people. It's disturbing that people with minimal humane education, like people with training more than education, could take control of someone. They don't care as much, they just love the idea of controlling. Or if there are people with an agenda, say, you know, I'm afraid to say the Chinese government, but, you know, say like an enemy government, a communist government, was able to actually do what Michael Keaton shows in Beetlejuice. Say there are people planted here in our neighborhoods and they know, they're like, oh, we're right on the precipice. I know I can get this kid to trigger and actually do this. You see what I mean? Then it becomes warfare. I guess at a spiritual level, but it's more like they can just take control of a person like a machine. So I think Michael Keaton's liberal because he was in the movie business. In general, that's the case. Oh, I meant to go to the Mr. Rabbit. I did want to do that. So there's Sally's and Mr. Rabbit. They're all loaded up today on this Friday. School's back in session, and a lot of UPenn students are here. Probably that would be what it looks like to me, or families of wealth. So, but anyway, please check out Beetlejuice. I forgot about Beetlejuice. I forgot. You know, we have plays playing here that coincide with narratives going on in people's lives who are of high public figure. So Beetlejuice, we had Cinderella, we had Margaritaville in the weeks leading up to Jimmy Buffett's death. I was like, there's a play going on still called Margaritaville. The 6 months leading up to his death, or the 4 months leading up to it, there were flags all over the place. I have a video showing Margaritaville flags. So the Beetlejuice is an ongoing theme. They also have Les Miserables, which is, the French Revolution play. But if you were someone, is this right? No. If you were someone who, were to phonetically, sound out things like Les Miserables, though French could be miserable lesbian, even though that's not a true translation, but it would be someone could see it as that way. And we even had Ellen DeGeneres show up at the Academy Theater, whatever it's called there. I was like, I can't believe they have Les Mis playing, and Ellen DeGeneres is making a stand-up tour for the first time in eons, ever. We're talking 30 years, probably 20 to 30 years. Who knows, So it just never ends. There was another idea I thought of. I used to walk a dog, I knew someone from Youth Aid Panel who lived here. They had a dog named Shadow. I did not walk their dog. They've changed the doors. They've either scraped the doors, because see how you can see darker edges? It used to be darker. The Springers lived here. Home of a Penn Charter Quaker is next door. So most of these people are, Philly's a very liberal city. So we have co-ops and stuff like that. So there are people who find a way to live, say, in certain types of high rises they might not be like designer optimal, but they get to, older people find ways to live in this city or stay in the city if they've already been residents here for many years, in a certain capacity. It would be more collaborative. But these are big, high-rise buildings and stuff like that. I don't know if the Kennedy House is, but the Penn House across the street, and also 2101 Chestnut is a co-op. I wound up with a cat because a woman wound up, in hospice, like nursing care and hospice, and couldn't take care of her cat any longer. I loved that cat, Bodie, because in a way he was almost feral, because it was a pretty bad situation there. And, trust was developed and everything. But he passed away like 4 years later. I was a little bit surprised. I didn't know how old he was, because I just sort of adopted him because everyone in the co-op was like, we can't find anyone to take him because he's so, a little bit aggressive. And so I took him because I'd been checking in on him daily for, quite a few weeks. So I don't know if it was a setup or not, but I loved Bogey. The problem is he would pass away. He would be leaning against the walls. It's the old story. Look how beautiful this dog is here. This blue merle meets brown. Oddly, this was leading up to 2011, and then I had a black cat named Max. He passed away, and then Ashes would pass away after 2011. And the cats that I already had were already of age, so they were 18 years old approximately. So it wasn't like abnormal that they would pass away, but because of everything that unfolded in 2011, I wondered if the universe was doing something, or if there were people who could sort of trigger an ailment. I think it can be done because